Hello, everyone who's coming in. We're just still getting folks joining. The way it's been set up, just got to make sure they all get in and don't get left in the lobby. I'll just give it another moment or two. We're only about a third of the people who registered, so I'll just give folks an opportunity to come in. All right, we got limited time, so I might make a start. If the team doesn't mind just keeping an eye on other entrants and making sure they get in, that'd be much appreciated. So hello everyone, and welcome to our CSEdX workshop. Ours is on the practical AI for reusable interactive activities. I'm Ryan Fell. I'm the Manager of Educational Technologies in DLT, and I'm joined today by our fantastic team in the Educational Technologies and Innovation team in DLT. And so we have Matt, our team leader, we have Murray and Tom, our educational technologists, and we have Adam, Alan, Brooke, Di, Gareth, Helen, Rain, and Steve, who are our digital learning officers, and we'll all be presenting today. Today we're exploring how artificial intelligence can assist with interactive activity design. Obviously, that's in the title. And the important piece to note here is it's not to replace our pedagogical judgment or human connection, but we're looking at how it can augment those things. So we're looking at how AI can help generate templates, visualizations, ideas, and scaffold learning activities that are reproducible, reusable, and aligned to teaching needs. So how is today going to be structured? We're going to have two 20-minute blocks of breakout rooms, and there'll be 4 different streams running concurrently in those 20-minute blocks. 2 of the streams are going to be focusing on Copilot, and this is deliberate. These are for those use cases which use Charles Sturt specific content or IP related issues. And the other 2 streams are going to look at ChatGPT and Gemini Pro, and these are going to be examples of how you can use more openly accessible content. But very importantly, it is using it in line with the secure framework. So you'll have an opportunity to join 2 of the 4 streams. Unfortunately, you won't get to join all 4 today, but what we will do is record all of the content and we'll disseminate that after the event. So you'll get a recording of all 4 streams. You'll also get access to the starter prompts that we're going to provide today, as well as any other resources that we might demonstrate. So before we get started, I do just want to importantly touch on the secure framework. So as you would know, the secure stands for security credentials, ethical use, confidential information, use of personal information, rights protection, and evaluation of inputs. It's important when we're thinking about any of the stuff you see today that you keep the secure framework in mind. Some other pieces to be aware of is that when you're working with Charles Sturt specific content and you answer yes to any of these elements of the secure framework, that means you need to keep your workings within Microsoft Copilot. You can't go outside of that. If, however, you get clear no's to any of these questions, then you are fine to explore using that kind of general safe content in other LMLs. And like we're going to demonstrate today, that could be ChatGPT or Gemini. Another really important thing to keep in mind is when you're using AI to assist you with interactive activity development, you need to declare that use. Just as you would acknowledge co-creation in other academics work, it's really important to be transparent in your ethical practice. In terms of prompt, we're going to show you a few prompts today, but a quick reminder that when you're working with prompts, they aren't a recipe, they're really a starting point. And AI can misinterpret what you've written, it can reinforce bias, it can hallucinate quite convincingly, but with inaccurate information. And it may even claim to be able to do things that it can't really do. So the important bit to take away from that is always review the output every time. In terms of transitioning into doing the activities itself, as I mentioned, there will be the two 20-minute blocks, so 4 streams running concurrently. Those 4 streams are Gemini visualizations, ChatGPT H5P activities, Copilot reflective activities, and Copilot subject quizzes. After the first 20-minute block, we'll all come back into this main room just as a bit of a transition period and a quick little chat before we go off into that secondary block. And once that secondary block is completed, we'll all come back into this main room again. We'll be able to discuss any kind of thoughts that we have, raise any questions that we have, and reflect on the activities that we've done. So how it will work is I have set up these breakout rooms to allow people to assign themselves to whichever one they're interested in. I'm hoping this will work. I didn't set up this meeting itself, but we're working within the settings here. If we do have any problems with that, though, I will automatically just shuffle people into rooms. But just a reminder that we will provide the recordings and the resources afterwards. So if you don't get to see everything, do not worry. All right, folks. Without any further ado, I'm going to open up the rooms and hopefully you will have the option to self-assign and we start moving into spaces. It's all going. Very good.
as a work trip and promotion, and I'll take one that do it roughly. Yeah. Photos. 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 I can't fucking. So anyway, it's interesting because when I look at you, she can do. Like no one's going to know what she's saying, right? She's on overseas, made all sorts of promises before we even got the accreditation, and to secure partnerships and more students, trying to get more students here. And now, apparently, credit team have informed me that they're getting a lot of international students specifically requesting credit for 300 different subjects. And they've done the BCL package, they've got the Nepalese press. And they're definitely like they get 4 year 1 subjects. They get 4 level 1 subjects. It's almost the equivalent, like their proficiency level certificate is like an add-on you can do from high school. You can do it over 2 or 3 years. Right? At the end of high school, you don't even like. I think it started in year 10. So it's a really it's surprising that it's that's why I put all these trips at like Harvard one. And you don't even need to get registration. Because overseas, obviously, it's different because it's recognised in their country and it leads to a registered nurse qualification. That's different. That's them. Translating that to here, and all our standards and requirements and levels, it would even lead to EM registration. So they're all now asking for 300 level credit. And I'm wondering what's happening. For me, for them to all specifically be studying the same subject, they have to camera amongst themselves and they've decided that they should get it. I wonder where it's originating. And this is why credit team were contacting me actually. They want to know if we'd sent outcomes about it.
Well, we're a compliance person, be specific referring to kind of specific.
Yeah, well, you do kind of wonder, like, if a lot of those students, I mean, they're interacting with the international team, interacting with their students a lot, and they say, oh, but I've done this and I've done that, and
Right, so we'll mute that. Now let's find out what they're doing with their breakouts. So it's a whole stack. So assign and unassigned. Sam, you can go into that one. Next one, enough, you can go into that one. Okay, there's some. You should be taken into those breakout rooms now. Give it about 10 seconds. Okay, Sheila, do you want to be put into one of those breakouts? Or it's up to you.
Are they coming back together soon?
I have no idea what their schedule is, to be honest. I got a message from Sam Bowker saying, could I let him in? So they had 2 people in the lobby. So they haven't left any facilitators in here to watch the main lobby room. So that's another lesson learned. But anyway, I've assigned those stragglers and put them in so they can at least participate.
Wonderful. I will hop out and I can see when everyone's back in, so I might join at that point just to see how things are going.
No worries.
Do you need me to be in another one? Have you left somewhere else to be here?
No, I've just come in here.
No.
I was
okay.
Yep. No worries,
All right,
thanks.
wonderful. Thank you. I'll see you in a bit, Lachlan.
No worries, bye.
Bye.
Stephen, you're meant to choose which of the breakout rooms you want to join, but I can put you in one if you like. to you.
All right, everyone's coming back. Any comments, questions, just while I rejig the rooms for the next round?
Could we just get the documents that were put in the chat before we could actually get at them?
The chat should still remain active to you now if you were in that room, but we will circulate all of the documents for all of the rooms after the workshop. A quiet lot this afternoon. Okay. I think I have reset the rooms ready to go. So same as last time, 20-minute block. Folks can choose which of the different streams they would like to go into in a moment when I open up the rooms. You'll see another demonstration, have an opportunity to get access to some more resources, have a play. Then at the end of the 20 minutes, same deal, we'll come back to this main room and hopefully there'll be some questions or some comments or some reflections that we can have, and then we'll circulate all of the resources after the event. So I'm about to open up the rooms. Enjoy the next block.
I've got a bad voice. I'm not very well. Lachlan, was I meant to do something? Am I meant to be in this group?
I don't know. Were you on as a facilitator for these guys, or what was
No,
the?
no, I'm
Are
just
you a
a
participant?
participant. Yeah.
So I thought Ryan was setting the rooms up so people got to choose which breakouts they joined. So you're meant to look at the breakout rooms and then pick which one to join, unless he
Okay.
changed how he was going to.
Well, look, I'm going to admit for 1 second I was distracted looking at something else. So
Okay.
maybe he presented that, but surely that would be in the chat.
No, you got to click on rooms up the top and then
Okay.
select.
Oh, cool. Cool. Thank you.
Okay.
Just ignore me. I'm going to blame not being well. Thanks, Lachlan.
No worries. Bye bye.
All right, I think we are slowly coming back. All right, good. Just to plug it again, I will put the link to
Gemini, please.
Secure into the chat so everyone can have a look at that. Again, what you saw today was 2 demonstrations using Copilot for situations where it doesn't meet all the requirements of Secure and you're particularly using Charles Sturt information. And Copilot is our kind of self-contained instance of a language model where we can do that. If you use Secure, however, and you answer no to all of those different pieces and you are using more general information, more publicly accessible information, like Gareth's coffee stats, for example, then yes, you can use other language models and go out there and explore. So today, really, we were trying to give you a little bit of a taster, a couple starter prompts of some of the ways that AI can be used for visualizations, activity development, those sorts of things. We encourage you to take those starters, all your own information, and begin to explore what are the possibilities, step by step, building up until you can create some really interesting pieces of information in learning and teaching, which can aid our users greatly. Just get that information in a different way, which is more meaningful and memorable. Do we have any takeaways from those groups? Any questions, any comments?
Ryan, can I just ask about students who are living in areas where they haven't got fantastic, coverage for internet? Is there an equity issue with any of this in terms of what you provide online and students can or can't access it?
There's no new rules here, Carolyn. It's simply the same premise as what we would do with existing interactives or existing media elements. We shouldn't be putting all core content into these kind of little packets. If it is really important core information they need to meet their learning objectives, that should still be presented in an alternate format. Same rules apply basically as if we were packaging it up into a video. We should provide that alt text version so that people on low bandwidth or have other requirements have still got access to the information. Think of it as an augmentation like I had in my introduction rather than replacing.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Hi, I just had a question around like to make a quality thing. I understand that you probably need to put in your own specific requirements for a whole bunch of different things. And that's time consuming. I'm just wondering if the uni has any like AI agents to here are the assumptions that we have with the learning activities that we have or our ethical requirements or the target demographic that we're working with. Are there things that can automate that a little bit?
You mean agents already set up to help automate that? Yeah, that's probably stuff that is still coming. Do we still have Greg Higgins in the room? Did you want to have a little talk about Cogniti potentially, Greg?
Yeah, so we're on the path to be standing up an instance of Cogniti from the University of Sydney, and the intention there is to be able to, rather than just provide the platform, but also to provide example shareable prompts for different purposes, and to be able to. It's almost like templatizing, if that's not a word, it is now. Different prompts as examples of best practice, right? So that's coming. We're just navigating the complexities around some of the back end stuff that DIT need to have ready to go. But there's a meeting with the developer who's been scheduled for next week. So we're getting close to that. So my desire is that this is up and running for session 30, and then we'll wrap around that some onboarding, some training, support, guidance, all of that sort of stuff. So it's coming. It's definitely something we want to do more of and help those that are using tools like ChatGPT, but if they're using Cogniti, to make them to enable that sort of collegiate approach. So sharing what I've done with colleagues, having a look and see what other prompts or what other agents might already exist. So a bit of a library to choose from. So yeah, a lot of work coming. Watch this space for now.
Yeah. Thank you, Greg. And Karen, I think a big part of it too will not just be the templates of prompts, but I think it'll be an iterative thing. We will build up a library of both the templates as well as agents to serve particular student and academic facing functions. So there is stuff coming that will hopefully help any of the bespoke stuff that you need to build. Do we have any final kind of thoughts or comments? Was there information presented today that you thought, okay, cool, I didn't know that was quite that simple. I've got a bit of an idea of where I could start now and explore. Anyone in that kind of space? I can't see everyone.
Sorry, I was just going to jump in. I think for me, just seeing the interface between, I didn't even think about the interface between ChatGPT and H5P. I use H5P a lot, but I didn't realize I could do that. So that's pretty awesome. So I'm going to be playing around with some multiple choice questions just to sort of, even just for that formative, students working through material and stuff. That's really handy. So I have used ChatGPT to generate multiple choice before, wasn't impressed, but anyway, maybe it's better now.
Look, it is a very, very fast moving space. So you'll notice changes week by week in the different language models. The other bit, some of the rooms may have mentioned this, but I know not all of them did. One of probably the underutilized pieces of these models is getting them to assist you with your prompt development. So you can start with a really basic premise of what you want to achieve, but if you're not sure how you can make that into a meaningful prompt for AI, get AI to help you write that prompt and then see what the results are like. Really powerful piece to use. Really glad you said that, Marissa, because that is exactly what we wanted people to have, that kind of light bulb moment, that a lot of these things that you would have relied on someone to do for you and could be quite time consuming to do, there is potential to do these things much more readily in the time that you have available to do it.
Can I just second what you said there a second ago, Ryan? I found that really useful in describing in a prompt what I'm trying to get the AI to do, and then saying, but I don't know what I don't know. So help guide me through how I should set up the prompt. Ask me any questions that you think you should, that you think you should ask to help me uncover. And so it just really fills in the gaps for you. It helps you become a good prompt engineer if you do it that way.
Might also learn how to code. I mean, who would have thought?
Hey, yeah.
Or you might not need to anymore, Caroline. You might just go, yep, write the code for me.
Yeah.
It doesn't always get it right though, Carolyn. You've still got to look at it.
Yes, I mean, learn how to get some techie to do it for me.
Yeah, but no, look, Linda, that is probably the key takeaway of all of it. No matter what you're doing, always validate the output before you share it or put it anywhere.
Yeah.
1 minute. That might be all we have time for. We will try and get these resources to you and the recordings as soon as possible. There will be an automated recording generated from the main meeting room today, but what we have done is prepared recordings of all of the individual breakout room sessions. So we will circulate those hopefully this week, along with the starter prompts and any of the other resources that were demoed or shared today.
So
Thank you very much.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Yeah, thanks so much. Well done, everyone. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Good job.